Good morning. I like it. I'm hands-free making my coffee. I wasn't hands-free for very long. Oh, what are we gonna have today? I think the problem for me with grinding my own beans, every stage, and I'm not gonna grind my beans today. I had a watcher send me a coffee grinder and some unground beans. I don't know, it was for my birthday. And to me, and this is gonna probably be insightful into my challenges in life a little bit, but to me, every extra step on the path to pushing that button seems like a tremendous hurdle at times. And bringing out the coffee grinder, plugging it in, pouring the beans in, pushing the thing, determining the amount, dumping it out, cleaning it out, and then putting it back. To me, seems at best unnecessary. And we'll just leave it at that. Good morning, babe. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Scott. I think Fred Hinkle hopped on as well. Doesn't get any easier than this. I don't even know what you mean by that. Good morning, Tanner and Samson Uribe. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So I'm sitting here, it's kind of a dark apartment this morning. Don't get me started on my dark apartments. But I don't have the lights on. I only have one light on. Gonna get myself some water. Gonna take you over, I actually do have a light on over here and sit while my coffee brews. Oh, yeah. Oh. I just don't know. Every day. I mean, some days I'm all fired up and I have a whole bunch to say. But then there's days like this and I just go, I think if I didn't push live, I could just sit here and stare out the window. I don't have much to do today. I don't have much on my docket at all. The last several days have been a series of stuff I've needed to do. Work was part of that stuff, but a bunch of other stuff I have to do. Sometimes looking for a job can almost be a full-time job, and I have to. And I'm not 100% sure they're going to be busy enough or fulfilling enough or financially rewarding enough to stay with. And I almost don't feel like at this point in my life I can take any risks with my financial responsibilities that I have. So I don't get to sit back and relax and go, well, I'll go to work. I got the day off today, so I'll just go golfing or whatever. I mean, I can, but I don't know. I think I'm kind of having fun with what I'm doing. It's tiring, but I'm kind of having fun. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Schliebel. I think I might be going to Copper Rock today, Schliebel. That's not an invite. I know you probably have work to do and you got your two little babies. Schliebel, I was editing a video from a couple months ago, as you know, and I met one of my viewers who's watching right now, and we went out for coffee the other day, and showed me pictures of her kids, and but a couple months ago she was kind of just getting started watching my show, or was a newer watcher, and she had two very young children at the time, and on that live I heard her tell me that she used the damn it test to name them. And I'm still not totally sure what the damn it test is. But I believe I'm correct, Schliebel. You used the damn it test to name your children. It made me laugh. Oh, Conor McGregor's diving right into politics. Right into politics. Why do I use a plastic cup? Well, all right, do you really, okay, let's hold off on politics right now. Damn it, Jack, it flows, it's a keeper. Schliebel, I like you. Why do I use a plastic cup? Well, because I go to Starbucks a fair amount, because I don't have an ice maker in my freezer, or my fridge or freezer. I don't really like the racks, the cubes, the ice trays. So what I do is I take these plastic cups and put water in half of them. Actually, this isn't water, it looks a little cloudy. You know why? Because it was half water, half lemonade I was drinking last night, and I put it in the freezer. So this is gonna be a very light lemonade-y mix. But either way, I put like this much water in these plastic cups and put them in the freezer. They're nice size. I can take them on the road with me. If I can throw them out, I can drop them. They have lids. I mean, why don't you use a plastic cup? I mean, I just gave 6 great reasons. They got a little sippy hole. They're wonderful. Why doesn't everyone use a sippy cup? Plastic cup from Starbucks. I thought this show's most important message I was gonna share was like sobriety and mental health and faith and getting back up when you're knocked down. But what it really all boils down to is I'm trying to manipulate the world into using Starbucks plastic cups. Am I rich or not? It all just comes down to that. Somebody wants to know, am I rich or not? I'm assuming when you say rich, you're talking like money in the bank. And assuming my assumption that when you say rich, it means money in the bank, I'm gonna say I'm not. Do you have any follow-up questions to that diving topic of rich or not? Are you on PTSD? I don't know if PTSD is something you want to be on. It's not a drug, unless you're talking about something different than me. So yeah, I'm not on PTSD. PSP, LSD, PCP, those are things you could be on. But you can't be on PTSD. You can be dealing with, struggling with, things like that, but I don't think PTSD is something you're on. So was there any news in New York last night that you guys want to talk about? I actually don't even know. I'm not even educated enough to really discuss the mayor of New York, other than if you listen to conservative news, he's a nutcase. And if you listen, I mean, I don't know. Bernie Sanders seems to think he's a good idea. New York politician who's kind of cute, the bartender girl, she seems to like him a lot. I'm not so sure I believe her that much. What's her name? Somebody help me with her name. We want radical change. Hyundai Sousa wants radical change. The richest, most technologically advanced country on earth. 62% home ownership. China, 90% home ownership. So would you rather live in China, Hyundai Sousa? You're using some home ownership test without any background at all. Would you rather live in China? You're not answering my question. I will mute you, I will remove you if you do not answer my question. Will you rather live in China? Don't talk to me, you're gonna be removed, you're never gonna be on this channel again. Because you're not, okay. You say you wouldn't rather live in China. So you wouldn't rather live in China. So, okay. Your opinion is ridiculous and your stats are stupid. You wouldn't rather live in China. Go live in China with their high home ownership rates. Go live in China. Be chained to a workstation. Be told what you can think and do. My feelings aren't hurt. Your opinion is ridiculous. You're a fool. You are a fool. And it makes me think the guy you voted for is a fool too. Seriously. You're citing Chinese home ownership rates. That is a joke. Where's my hair? Numbers do lie. Somebody said numbers don't lie. Numbers do lie. Numbers do lie. Statistics lie. Statistics are manipulated to prove a point. And he's not proving his point. He's citing homeownership statistics in China, implying that China's better than the United States. Go live in China. It's a joke. It's a joke. Makes me think, I wish somebody would support that mayor that doesn't make ridiculous statements like that. I'd like to have a good opinion of why somebody likes this mayor that's not a fool. So somebody other than this guy, tell me why they like this mayor. This guy is a fool. Well, hold on. Oh, you know it. You know what's happening. You know what's happening. Hyundai Sousa, you are a fool. And for my very first For my very first Fool's Gong, it's Handy Sousa for saying stupid things on my show. I haven't even had my coffee yet. I haven't even had my coffee. The funny thing is, he asked me why I'm so unhappy. He was the one raging about America's homeownership rates not being high enough. I rent a home. I'm not even sure I want to own a home. You know, I was a realtor. I don't even know if I want to own a home. You know? So his whole support for this mayor of New York was because America's home ownership rates, the only thing he cited. So I want somebody to come out and tell me, other than the fact that China has higher home ownership rates than America, why this mayor of New York is good. It's not even close to the end of the world if you don't own a house. I think home ownership's, in some aspects, it was the American dream forever, but I don't think it is anymore. I don't think it is anymore. Tell us why I think he's bad. DDR, I don't even know who he is. I'm not saying he's bad. Somebody asked me to tell me why I think he's bad. I'm not saying he is. Okay, I'll say why I think he's bad. Because the only good thing I've ever heard about him is that China's homeownership rates are higher than America's. That makes me think his supporters are nutcases, because that's the nuttiest, dumbest thing I've ever heard. So somebody tell me why he's good. Other than the fact that China, I tell you what, you don't go hungry when you're in prison either. That doesn't mean you want to live in a prison. You have a roof over your head when you're in prison, and you get 3 square meals a day. Do you want to live in a prison? All right. The homelessness rate in prison, the home is 0. There are no homeless people in prison. Numbers don't lie. Yes, they do. What coffee did I make today? Do you disagree with that, Julie? I'll gong you. I know you're a Packer fan. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You must be living in prison. We don't have homeless people. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Well, I'm just going to wait for somebody to say something worthwhile. I'm going to just drink my coffee. Oh, I was going to sit at the table. I was going to turn on my candle. So somebody tell me, okay, we're talking politics, I guess. Somebody tell me what they like about this mayor of New York. I don't know anything about him. I mean, I'm afraid now that his supporters want to live in China, but they don't want to live in China. They just want to make America China. Julie, do you like the mayor of New York? Whoever won? I know nothing of him. I heard he's a nutcase. I have nothing to back up the fact that I've heard he's a nutcase. But Julie, do you like the guy that got elected for the mayor of New York? Do you like his policies? Tell me something you like about him. Well, it's awfully quiet. Maybe I hit one of those silence you guys things. I just tried to, hey Julie, don't, remember I got the gong. It's good to have. Seriously, I rarely call people fools on this show. I rarely feel people are fools, but that dude was a fool. Well, we have a glorious, is it frozen? Is anybody out there? Did I do something? Did I hit a button? It worries me. Sometimes I hit buttons and I can't get anybody commenting. And then it's just me. I can have it be me without, oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy. And this is Coffee with Ken. It is Thursday morning. No, it's not. It's Wednesday morning. It is November 5th. It is 7:32 a.m. Happy Wednesday. My stream's not going. Nobody's saying anything. Makes me sad. I was getting all fired up. I was ready to have a fun show. We still can have a fun show. I think things happen for a reason. If you're not allowed to comment, I must have had a lot of foolish people who were gonna comment and get me all fired up. And I'm not supposed to be fired up this morning. I'm supposed to be relaxed and sit and look outside my window, drinking my coffee. But I'm not sure that's my purpose. I want to find out why this mayor's good, other than the homeless. Everyone owns homes in China. It's weird because that guy called America the richest country in the world. It kind of seems like, okay, well, that sounds really good. We got the richest country in the world. And I could probe deeper. And go, yeah, but a lot of that wealth's not evenly, there's a big imbalance in wealth. And I get that. But to cite home ownership stats in China, I mean, I've never been to China, but I don't even want to go. I mean, I'd maybe go, but I might not. I might be afraid they'd lock the doors and not let me out, or arrest me for something. Yeah, I mean, I'd be a little afraid to go to China. And I like China. I don't consider them an enemy at all. I think America could get along fine with China and Russia. I wish we would. I wish we'd build a bridge to North Korea as well. Yeah. I like when Trump talked to the dude in North Korea and reopened discussions. I even like when Dennis Rodman went over and visited the guy in North Korea. I think communication is healthy and good. And without it, suspicions are going to develop, and relationships are going to, you can't have a relationship without communication. That's my thought. Well, you guys are still watching. I might just sip my coffee. I might. I don't need to talk to necessarily entertain you. I might just sit back, put my feet up, enjoy my fire, and talk. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. If anybody can talk, please do. Again, I'll be fine. Hold on, I gotta get cuddled and cozy under my bear's blankie. Oh, that's nice. I might just sit here all day, drinking my coffee. It's not gonna be a good show. I won't go live all day, because I feel funny having you watch me a little bit. Not that funny. Ooh. Oh, I wasn't even ready for that sip. I didn't plan on it. Usually I have a big buildup and I say whatever it is I say at the beginning of my show, and to take my first sip, I just kind of did it out of habit without really thinking. Oh, and it hit me in its glorious coffee-like way. Oh. So it's 7:37. It's Wednesday morning. Again, I think things happen for a reason. And I woke this morning feeling relaxed and peaceful. Got on my show and got talking about the mayor of New York, who I don't even know his name. He said America is changing. Oh. I mean, I'm sitting here wearing an American flag right here. I wonder if there's always been people that thought America was changing. I've heard this mayor of New York is described as a communist. I'm not making a judgment. I'm not saying he is or isn't. But the only guy that spoke out on his behalf this morning was citing home ownership rates in China versus America. So that makes me concerned. Because again, I'm not a Donald Trump supporter. I'm a believer in capitalism, that it's the best system. I know I believe in capitalism with some reasonable societal nets to catch the people that are fallen. And I don't know what the right balance of that is, because capitalism can be cruel, but not racist, because capitalism doesn't care. It doesn't care what color you are at all. You know, if you can do something better or invent something new or sell something, it doesn't matter what skin color you are. However, at its core, there's not the safety nets of other economic systems where the government's providing everything. I talk all the time, again, I don't drink or do drugs or whatever, smoke pot anymore. And people often ask me if I think like alcohol or pot should be legal or not, and I'm not even sure. I'm not sure what I think about like hard drugs and whether like heroin should be legal. I mean, to me, it seems obvious that its alluring effects are too strong for many people to handle. But I don't like the idea of the government saying, this just feels too dang good. We're not going to let you use it because you might never stop using it. So again, I struggle with that a little bit because I don't want the government making a bunch of rules. But I do want protections for those that need it. And I'm sure if heroin and other extremely hard drugs were legal, I mean, I'm not sure, but I would think there'd be a much higher addiction rate and homeless rate and a worse overall society. So again, maybe I don't want heroin being sold in Walgreens or what have you. So maybe I am okay with some rules. What sort of safety nets would I like my utopian capitalist society? I certainly don't want it looking like China. I don't even want it looking like Britain. What would I like in America? I was walking to the gym yesterday and there was 3 people, I'm gonna assume they were homeless. They were sitting in the park. I guess, why am I assuming they were homeless? They were sitting in Houdini Plaza. I mean, but they were bundled up. But honestly, they didn't look particularly distressed. I don't know that those 3 people wanted anything. Maybe they just felt like outcasts from society and found 2 other people that they identified with and were comfortable with and wanted to get bundled up under blankets on a cool November morning in Appleton. Why do I necessarily think I needed to fix, save, change them? Maybe they were just fine. I mean, I was worried about them a little bit. I pitied them a little, and I don't think pity is a good feeling. I felt bad for them. But maybe they were just fine. So when I'm picturing my utopian capitalist society, I'm picturing those 3 people not there and driving nice cars and living in nice homes and having nice families and having good dental care and all this other stuff. But maybe that's not their dream or not what they want. I'm sure their parents wanted that for them when they were little, but we're all born different. You know, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Some of my best friends live in big houses with 4 kids, and I don't envy them, and I hope they don't pity me. So maybe because people are so different, you can't fix homelessness, because to some it's camping. To some, maybe holding a sign, asking for money on a street corner is sales, is their capitalistic dream, is the best way they think they can utilize their skill set to make money, and maybe they're okay with it. So maybe, despite the fact that there's 3 homeless people that were hanging out in the Houdini Plaza that I walked by yesterday morning, and again, I'm just assuming they're homeless, but it looked like it. Maybe that's not a problem. To me, I thought it was, and I wanted to help them somehow. Maybe they didn't want it or need it. I don't know. So yeah, I wouldn't want to move to China. And it concerns me that guy was saying America is changing. Because again, I'd like to have us all get along, and I don't think that guy wants to get along. I'd like to get along with him and people on the left, but demanding that America changes makes me understand why people on the right are so afraid of immigration, and why people that live in Texas are annoyed at people from California that flee their screwed up state with high taxes and rampant drug use and homelessness and move to somewhere that's like Texas, let's say, but then want to bring their political activism along with them. And I don't know where that guy, that I was muted was from. Maybe he's from America. But I think a cry out of America is changing makes me understand why the people on the far right or the Trump supporters would have a hat saying "Make America Great Again." Because I always thought that "Make America Great Again" was kind of a dumb slogan, I mean. But America is changing is every bit as dumb. And honestly, frightening to me. And sure, you could say, well, I'm a white male. No wonder it's frightening. But I don't like the thought of this guy's the only vocal supporter of this mayor of New York was citing statistics in China. And I asked him if he'd want to live in China. He didn't answer that. Do any of us want to live in China? I asked. I've got 56 people watching, and hopefully this video is seen a lot after I post it. But if you're out there citing China homeownership statistics without having any concept of their freedoms or what their home looks like or how they live their lives, or if they're allowed to have one child or two children, or told where to go to school, what jobs, I ask you, do you want to live in China? I don't. Julie Flanagan and I don't agree on politics, but I bet you Julie doesn't want to live in China. I have people from around the world watching my show, and like yesterday there was a guy on saying, oh, the rest of the world feels sad for the United States. I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that at all. I think the faux, I'll call it, sadness comes from jealousy. I think it does. Again, I have people hopping on my show that say they feel sad for me or whatever, and I don't believe that either. I think it comes from jealousy. You know, I felt sad for those people, but I didn't walk up to them and say, I feel sad for you, because that would be insulting. And again, maybe they're living their lives just as they want. They are chasing their dreams. They don't have what I would deem particularly high dreams, but what do I think about their dreams? What does my judgment of their dreams matter at all? So, when, let's just say, the rest of the world feels sad for America, A, I don't believe it, but B, why should we care? Do you, my American viewers, feel sad to live in this country, and would you rather live anywhere else? I'm not saying you're wrong to vote for this guy in New York. I'm not saying you're wrong to vote for Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom or, I mean, you shouldn't have voted for Joe Biden. I mean, unless you just want a propped up old white man. But okay, you know, I'm not saying who you should vote for, but I am wondering, would you want to live anywhere else? And I know I wouldn't. And I think that's the statistic that matters. If I wanted to, I love, one of the prettiest places I've ever been was my mother's home of Scotland. I could move to Scotland, but I don't want to. I could move to Canada. It's beautiful. You know, I could move to Argentina, to France, to China. But I don't want to. And I doubt any of the American viewers that we have right now want to move out of this country. And if you do, that's cool. And again, I'm not saying that your politics are wrong, but I'm saying I think that guy's politics are probably wrong. The guy in New York, the mayor of New York. Again, I don't even really know what they are. I've heard free buses, that doesn't bother me. But they're not really free. Somebody does have to pay them. And it's okay to acknowledge that. But again, the one supporter he had was citing a totally ridiculous statistic in my mind. So that worries me. Maybe my show should change. Maybe I should make it a little more political. Maybe I've talked enough about sobriety, men's mental health, pulling yourself back up. Maybe I should run for president. That'd be a lot of headaches associated with that. I wouldn't get to just sip my coffee, watch my fireplace, cuddled up in my bear's blankie. But maybe I could do something else, make a bigger difference. Because again, just that viewer that was citing those statistics, and I don't believe in insulting people, but honestly, I think he was a fool. Because he's implying a betterness to China than the United States. And that frightens me. That there's a segment of society that thinks China's economic system is superior to ours, or governmental system. I mean, I don't know. Does China have forced or required enter into the military? Maybe they don't. I don't know. Maybe they are. But I can't even imagine living in a society where the government told you how many kids you could have. Yeah, I don't want to live in China. And I think that dude that was watching that said America is changing probably would benefit from spending a little more time grateful for the freedoms that he has. And be careful what you wish for. He asked me why I was so mad. He sounded like he wanted a revolution. And that frightens me. I hope a lot of people don't feel that way. Julie, I wish I could hear you comment, because Julie, you don't want to live in China. Huh. So it's Wednesday morning. We actually have a glorious audience, although for some reason, none of you can talk. I don't think I muted you. But again, I think things happen for a reason. I feel much more at peace here with my blanket. I'm gonna get a little more coffee. Do you guys mind if I get a little more coffee? You don't even get a vote. You don't get a vote. This isn't a democracy. This is the Coffee with Ken dictatorship. Maybe I'll bring that system to America. King Ken. Oh, Yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't concerned about that mayor being elected at all until today. Huh. Wonder if there's cause for concern. And if there's cause for concern, do I need to do my best to make a difference on that? Huh. Seems obvious as a talking head you could leverage political nutcases on both sides to create a good content business around. Because you could probably rally people up, get people fired up on both sides, making political talks all the time. And I'd rather not do that. But maybe it's okay that at this moment, the day after some mayor got elected, and a guy hopped on my show, envious of home ownership statistics in China. Maybe it's okay that my blood pressure went up a couple points. Shows I'm alive. Talked about it yesterday a bit. I stayed with a friend, and on Sunday, when I went down to Chicago, and Sunday night felt like my first romantic night I've had in 2 years, where I went out with a woman and we held hands and had dinner and did some shopping and strolled the streets. It was almost a scary feeling for me. Opening myself up to the chaos it is when you let somebody else in. I've been kind of operating over the last couple of years with barriers around me, not letting my emotions get touched by others, and kind of cross that, but maybe that's okay too, to be able to feel. Oh. But it's Wednesday morning. I'm excited about my day. I do not know what it holds. I know I got a whole lot of video editing to do. I know I worked out yesterday and worked yesterday, and I'm not sure I have either on the schedules today. Might just sit here, drink some coffee, stare at my fireplace. Might stay live, might go live later. I will read 2 chapters from the Bible tonight. Don't you worry, you Bible readers. We're finishing up the book of Exodus tonight. Oh, what a glorious finish it'll be. I peeked into Leviticus. I'm going to keep doing it. I am going to keep doing it. I don't know if I believe the Old Testament much at all. It's weird because I talk about I actually don't often talk about being a Christian, but I talk about being on a spiritual journey. And I'm reading the Old Testament, and I don't know if I have any belief at all that God was having a discussion with Moses on how many cubits to make the ark, or exactly what type of food that Moses and the Israelites should eat. I don't know if I believe that at all. And you have to believe that to be a Christian. did Christ come to kind of make that stuff and those feelings and those yuckiness go away a little bit? Maybe that's why I'm reading the Bible, but again, at the start of reading the Bible, I go, hey, maybe I'm more Jewish than Christian because I don't know what I believe. But again, reading the Old Testament, I'm going, I don't know that I believe this at all, and it's a weird feeling. To have faith, but completely question the furthest back histories of that faith is a weird feeling. Have you guys read the Old Testament? I think a lot of us, and it's okay, everyone do themselves, probably go in and hear the pastor speak to us and tell us about Jesus and how he died for our sins and to give our fears to God and the Holy Spirit and all these things, and we feel good. But if you read into it, again, the Old Testament, yeah, I just don't know if I really believe it much at all. Not even sure I'm supposed to. I don't know that I am supposed to. I mean, I go to a Christian church and they talk about David and Moses occasionally. But it's mostly about Jesus. You know, I can't tell you. I mean, I'm two books in, and how many times God is putting out rules that if you violate this rule, you will be put to death. It's kind of weird to me. But anyway, it's Wednesday morning. We've had an amazingly quiet audience today. But still a fairly glorious audience today. That 54 people could be watching as I just sit here and talk about capitalism or communism or Christianity or Judaism. It's kind of fun a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to do. Part of me wants to get fired up again and dive deeper into this political stuff. But to do that, I'd have to probably sign off with you guys right now and maybe sign back on. See if anybody wants to chat more. Again, it's just 8 o'clock. I'm in no rush. Maybe I could have a part 2. Maybe I don't need to. But who cares what I need to do? So ends Wednesday morning coffee with Ken, part 1. For anybody that wants to tune in to part 2, go get yourself a cup of coffee. Get your favorite blankie. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Bye-bye.